Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's reading on conflict resolution. So, what happens is whenever we are stuck in a conflict, where two people are involved, two or more people, what everybody feels is that they are being victimized or they feel wronged in some way. Sometimes, yes, it does happen that the other person is trying to take advantage of the other person, and but they don't want to accept it and they deny it. Any of those reasons, conflict resolution can bring a lot of distress in our minds and lives. And what helps us come out of the conflict is to clearly understand both sides of the perspective. What are their hopes and fears on both sides, and what guidance can the universe give us to transcend this conflict and bring more love and balance into this situation and not victimize ourselves or blame others or ourselves. So for that we have two piles to choose from. Pile number one, we have this beautiful greenish blue feather, and pile number two, we have this beautiful brown eagle slash owl feather. I'm not quite sure of that, but it's really beautiful. Both these feathers have a special meaning for me. One was part of a dream catcher I really loved, and the other I bought from a Native American fair in US. So take your time, use your intuition to pick one of the two piles, and you will find the timestamps for the two in the description box below. Also, if you wish to book a reading, personal reading with me, I will also link my website in the description box. So let's get started. Welcome pile number one, those of you who chose this beautiful bluish green feather. What I will be doing is I will be looking at both people's energy here with their perspectives and everything. So this will be person A, this will be person B, and you can choose whatever person resonates most with you. That will be your side of the story, and that's how you will validate if the things I'm saying resonate with you or not. And then the other person will be obviously the person you're involved in the conflict with. So let's get started. Let's take a look at what is person A's energy for pile one. What is person A's energy in this conflict? Okay, what is person B's energy in this conflict? Strength. Okay, and we have the judgment at the bottom. So what I feel here is that one side of the person A, is a very he doesn't have bad intentions. They are a stable person, and they are more like slow and steady wins the race sort of a person, very level-headed, very mature emotionally, and they have a lot to fall back on. Like they have a stability in their lives in one way or another. And a person B's energy here is they may doubt that they don't have the strength or what it takes, and they may doubt it, but the truth is that they do. They have a lot of strength and patience, and they have so much strength they can tame a lion with their love, sort of. Okay, so both people involved in this conflict are very mature and level-headed and have a lot of courage and strength in them. So I don't see anybody having nasty intentions here for the other, trying to overpower. It's just that sometimes when some things remain unsaid, that's what creates confusion. And sometimes we say things and we have certain associations with what we say, which the other person may not understand. Because let's say I associate a donkey with color brown, hair pony, or like or like this long shiny hair and white teeth or something. Okay, that's very random, but let's say I associate a horse with these attributes. Now person B, when person A says horse, they associate the horse with these three attributes. But when person B hears horse, they have different attributes. Perhaps they see a horse as white, and they see the hair as blonde, and they see them having those horse pads, shoe pads, or whatever they call it. So when they say a word, this person has different associations, this person has different associations, so the expectations are different and unset. So they properly, what has to be done is, when person A says horse, they have to also bring to light the three attributes they are associated with, and then so that there's no misunderstanding in the associations, if that makes sense. So I feel like let's get further information into what is bothering person A here. Okay, so person A here, what's bothering them is perhaps they hurt person B's feelings in some way in the past, and they want to make amends. They want to try to be more balanced, and try to reconcile with person B here in this conflict resolution. Let's see what's bothering, and perhaps they were not finding the right opportunity or the right time, or they feel like they will not be received well here. Let's see what's bothering person B here. What's bothering person B? Okay, what's bothering? Okay, so I got this reversed action time, and you're on the right path. What's bothering person B is sometimes, they feel like with the strength card, person B feels like they're doing everything, trying to be on the right path, trying to be very emotionally mature, not impulsive or reactive, like react in a negative way towards people and situation in their lives, and trying to make choices that are true to them. But sometimes what bothers them is their because one of the things that person B questions a lot is whether their actions are actually bringing the fruits that they desire or not. Like, they feel like they have been doing everything in their power, spiritually, mentally, in the 5D, but in the 3D, the reflection, they don't see it manifesting yet in the physical. So that's what bothers them for pile number 2. And I feel this may apply to some of you, not all of you. They also feel like if they are doing the right things to be on the right path, why is this person A not reaching out to make amends? Perhaps why are they not taking action if I am as I feel on the right path? Because person A, resolution with person A is also something they desire, and their lack of inaction bothers them sometimes. So that may be that may apply to some of you for pile 1. Let's take a look at, and I feel like this is mostly a romantic situation for most of you, those of you who are watching. Let's take a look at what is person A not seeing. What is person A not seeing here? What is person A not seeing here? What is person A not seeing here? Okay. And what is person B not seeing here? What is person B not seeing here? Okay. I would clarify both of these cards. So what is person A not seeing here? Please clarify. Okay. What is person B not seeing here? Please clarify the strategy. Wow. So we have change in both the people. So there is like, what is person A not seeing here is, it can mean there are two different messages coming here. One is that they are unable to see which option they should take. Like there is a lot of options they can take, but they're not really sure which one to take. Also, they are not seeing that as they balance their inner self here, their external reality will automatically align itself according to their highest good. So as you work on your inner self, your shadows, heal your shadows, your external reality aligns to it. So they are not completely seeing that this can actually happen. Like they are also, so there's a mirroring happening here. So I said in the last, what's bothering person B, and what was bothering them is again not able to see the physical changes when they change their inner wiring, and the same thing is actually what person A is also not seeing. So it's a mirror thing happening here. And what is person B not seeing is that their choices have changed them and their situation for the better. They are not seeing that. So so everybody is not seeing how working on themselves has basically led to a better reality. Both of them are not able to see it right now. Let's see what action. Oh, sorry, let me first go to what does person A want from this situation. What is person A looking for in this conflict resolution? What does person A want in this conflict resolution? What does person B want in this conflict resolution? What does person B want in this conflict resolution? So I feel like both people's fears are showing up here. For person A, the fear is that they will be trampled by another person, and if they try to take action, they're just gonna be walked all over by the other person. And person B feels like they don't see a way forward in this conflict resolution. They feel like it's what's it called, an impasse, sort of like there's a block limit, like they have reached the limit, and perhaps they, like person A, what they most want right now is for the two people to rise beyond the blocks in the past, the limitations of the past. And what person A most wants at this time is to be respected in the situation, to not feel trampled over by the other, is what both people are wanting in this conflict resolution. And let's take a look at what action is required on person A's side. What action is required? So the action that person A needs to take is to reach out, to say hi, to start a conversation, basically reaching out. And what action does person B need to take in this situation? What action does person B need to take in this conflict? To not run away, basically, when they reach out. That's what's coming up. Okay, so the action they need to take is reach out, and the action person B needs to take is to not run away. That's funny. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what is the guidance for person A so that they can find their peace in this conflict. What is the guidance for person A? And what's the guidance of for person B so that they can find their peace in this conflict? What's the guidance for person B? What's the guidance for person B? Okay. So the guidance for person A is to let go of past patterns of addictions, and this can be actual like smoking habits or any self-sabotaging habits. Basically, either it's self-degrading yourself with your thoughts, like only the worst happens to me, like those sort of thought patterns, and for like those sort of addictions and bad habits which are not out of self-love and are self-degrading. And the guidance for person B in this situation is to be open to connections, to not close themselves off and from everybody in their life. So it's just to remain open to people, to give people a chance to be a part of their life, is the guidance for the two people involved. And I want to take my inner balancing oracle as well and see what's the guidance for person A in this situation. Yes, so person A feels insecure about their mind, and as I said, the old habits, the addiction card, the self-sabotaging mind habits. So they drown themselves in their own self-projections about themselves. Their inner voice is quite self-degrading and self-depreciating, so they need to come out of that, is what's the guidance for person A in this conflict. And what's the guidance for person B in this conflict? What's the guidance for person B in this conflict? So person B, the challenge for you is to deal with this circumstance in a way that makes you happy, and to stir the pot, to do something differently, basically to do the same, to not repeat a pattern from the old, like change the pattern in this situation, not try to run away or not try to close themselves off or not trust in anybody else, to remain open and give people chances and do things differently in a more mature, emotionally mature and way that is respectful of both the people involved. Okay, beautiful. And finally, I will get a card for what will bring balance in this situation with the two people pile one. What will bring balance in pile one situation? Oh wow, completion of a cycle. So what person A is completing is like toxic mental self-degrading thought patterns, and what person B is ending is not trusting, not allowing people to enter emotionally. Now this can mean that person A would go ahead and try to engage with people but not lower their emotional barriers down, like they would not be very vulnerable and speak their complete truth, and they would not feel comfortable doing that because they would never trust the person, and perhaps they had good reason for it. But the overall guidance that will bring balance into the situation is to let go of the old patterns. It's and be open to the possibilities that every time has to be the same, like every person doesn't have to be the same, or even the same person may act differently if given a chance. So be hopeful is be hopeful for new possibilities is the overall guidance here. So that was your message, pile number one. I hope that was helpful, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a like, and I'll see you guys later. Welcome, pile number two. Those of you who chose this beautiful brown feather, let's take a look at the conflict you may be involved in currently, and I will be taking a look at both people's perspective and side, and whichever person resonates with you most, that will be you, and then the other person is going to be the person you're involved in the conflict with. So let's take a look at What is person A's energy in this conflict? Okay, person A is all about balance, equal give and take. So let's take a look at what is person B's energy. What is person B's energy in this conflict? So, okay, and we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So there is one side which is equal give and take. They want to be really fair. They don't want it to be unfair on their side or unfair on the other person's side, and they're open to listening to both sides of the conversation, very balanced, very mature. But on the other hand, person B is quite distressed in this conflict for some reason, and I would like to clarify that. Why do they feel sad? They feel why do they feel sad? Why do they feel sad? Because they actually really appreciate person A. They feel like universe has sent them for a special cause, and the fact that they are having this conflict actually makes them sad. Is that true? Let me just clarify, what is this card talking about? Deserve fire. Okay, so they just feel like they are the sort of person who don't like to get involved in conflicts too much, and they're kind of sad that this has happened, basically, is what I feel like. I feel like this is like a business sort of transaction, not so much as a romantic. This is more like interpersonal, business related. And what's making them sad, we will look at. Yeah, they're feeling sad for whatever reason person A has taken offense on, or whatever misunderstanding has happened. So that's basically what's making them sad. But person A is still, even in this conflict, is quite balanced, and person B is feeling quite sad and not really great about it, basically. So let's take a look at what's bothering person A. What's bothering person A in this conflict? What is bothering person A in this conflict? Okay, there is some old patterns person A has that need to be transcended, and we will look at it in detail, what it is. And this is because what happens is, when person A had a similar situation in the past and they did not really deal with it at the time fully, so they repeated this situation to give them another chance at it. So we will take a look at what needs to be reprogrammed in person A's psyche, but let's take a look at what's bothering person B here. What's bothering person B? Okay, so they feel like person A may leave. They feel like that's what that is something that can happen, and they're not super thrilled about it. They feel like person A is the kind of person who will just get up and leave. And person A, what's bothering them is an old programming in their psyche, and we will take a look at what that is. What is person A? What is bothering person A? What pattern? Okay, so we have two. That's so magical. So we have reprogramming the old, and this card says, if an old wound revisits, use it as an opportunity to send more love to yourself and to that part of the wound. And what person A needs to do here is say that I acknowledge this wound, I forgive myself and anybody else, I consciously send love to that part of myself. Let's get some more hints on what this old wound may be. Okay, so this old wound is basically talking about being emotionally immature and stubborn, not really understanding that there is no one truth to any situation, there is no right and wrong in any situation, that there is duality, polarity, and they should not be so hung up on their own perspective so much, and to try to understand the other person's side as well, and um, be more emotionally mature, handle it in a more emotionally mature way, perhaps by speaking things out clearly, like that is what they expected and that's what happened, and so that sort of a thing, and being open to understanding why the other person did what they did. Now, it's not necessary that every person is going to have good intentions, but it is also like what person A needs to understand here is that people are not always there to get them. There are good people in this world, and as much, and sometimes yes, things may be unfair, but sometimes there is a possibility that person A might be victimizing themselves and blaming the other, and that is what needs to be transcended to the discernment, the understanding on the situation as to um, what are they, like, is it fair for them to always victimize themselves in a situation, or are they willing to see how it affects the other person, are they open to it, basically. Beautiful. Let's take a look at what person A wants in this situation. What does person A want in this situation? What does person A want in this situation? What does person A want from this situation and the conflict? What does person A want? So person A, I feel, is really afraid to choose or commit to people who are forceful and controlling and pushy, and would take advantage of them, perhaps because they have felt like people have taken advantage of them in the past, so they are very overprotective sometimes of themselves, in terms of who should they collaborate with and whom they shouldn't. Now, what does person B want in this situation? What does person B want in this situation? They want success, like they want to be successful, they want to fix this situation, and yeah, they definitely want like a better understanding, a better collaboration, a better relationship, a better healthy balanced situation. They also want that. Okay, does person, because those cards came out, I do want to look at what are person B's fears in this situation, in this conflict. Okay, so they are quite sad. To put it simply, let me see what is. So we took a look at what needs to change for person A, what is person A healing from this conflict. Let's take a look at what person B is healing from this conflict. What is person B healing? What conflict is person B healing? Oh, sorry, what is person B healing from in this conflict? They are also overcoming rigidity. Wow. So this is a mirrored situation, as beautiful, which is the most beautiful part I like about the universe. Everything is so mirrored. Like if this person is being stubborn, by default it means this person is also being stubborn, and they also are being challenged to overcome any sort of rigidity or set patterns or set expectations they were holding, and be open to new perspectives and change, basically. Both people are learning the same thing, and that's what I so love about the universe. Okay, Now let's take a look at what is person A not seeing in this situation, in this conflict. What is person A not seeing? Okay, what is person A not seeing? Okay, so what happens is, like, person A is coming from a past wound, as it said before, of very faulty foundations, people having imbalanced power over them, and how they can overcome and transcend this repeating situation is by forgiving their past, basically whoever they thought took undue advantage of them, forgiving themselves and the other person in the situation and releasing it, completing this cycle and pattern for good. And what is person B not seeing here? What is person B not seeing? What is person B not seeing in this conflict? What is person B not seeing? I need to clarify, what is person B not seeing here? Okay, so what the clarifier got is depart embarrassment. I feel person B feels they also have this past wound of feeling embarrassed in conflicts, um, taking offense, taking things personally, feeling attacked. And what's this card talking about? Yeah, they feel like they have um, not done well enough in the situation. They feel embarrassed of how they did in the situation, which is not true completely. Like, they're not giving themselves enough credit. They are doing the best they can in the situation. Everybody is learning. Nobody is, like, we are here on this earth to learn and grow, and that's what they're doing as well. And so they shouldn't feel sad about person A speaking up their side of the perspective, is what I'm getting. Let's take a look at what action does person A need to take in this conflict resolution. What action does person A need to take? So, and what action does person B need to take in this conflict? What action does person B need to take? What action does person B need to take here? Okay, so action that person A needs to take is to not feel bullied because of their past faulty foundation. They have a natural tendency to feel like everybody's bullying them, taking more from them than they should be, and therefore they victimize themselves a lot. And the action that person A needs to take is to know that they have the power in this situation because they are the co-creator of their reality, and the other person is not to blame because person A has subconsciously manifested this whole conflict in order for them to heal and transcend certain attributes within themselves. So to realize that they always have and have always had the power in the situation, and to not feel bullied, basically. And the guidance for person B is to take this as an opportunity to get down to the nitty-gritty, so that in future they can be more so that they have more, like they say, having it on your fingertips, sort of like getting more awareness as to what they expect in any sort of collaboration. What are their expectations, and what are their roles, and what is a healthy collaboration, basically, to really jot down what they need and what they give and what they receive, basically, in the collaboration. They need to get down to this nitty-gritty part. And let's take a look at next, what's the guidance for person E? What's the guidance for person E to find their peace in this conflict? What's the guidance for person E? Okay. And what's the guidance for person B? What's the guidance for person B? What's the guidance for person B to find their peace? Okay, so the guidance here for person A is to know that their success is guaranteed and they don't have to feel like somebody can take it away from them. Like, person A needs to realize that their whole life success, whatever comes to them, whatever goes, is completely, they have full power and control over it. The other person involved can never take anything away or give, like, can never snatch or steal their thunder or their power or their success or their anything. They cannot take it from person A. So they don't have to worry about engaging in collaborations where the power distribution is not balanced and equal. Because what they fear is, sorry about these houseflies, I have come to adore them recently. if it sounds weird, but I do like them. Anyway, so what I was saying was, person A needs to stop feeling that feeling stressed about again engaging in situations where people are taking away their energy, their love, their success, and not giving them equally back. And what person B, the guidance for person B is to be more let me get some words for what's the guidance for person B. So what they need to do is they need to make sure that they are being very clear in the collaboration. Like, they are not making false promises, they are not prematurely making promises they cannot keep up later on, and they are making sure that they are keeping their word in the situation, in the collaboration, and they are not like, what happens is sometimes we, out of fear or a little neediness, we settle for something less initially, but then we later on realize that that was less, and then they try to say, no, I need more. So that sort of thing, like, from the get-go, be very clear on what you are giving and what you are receiving, and not try to be fearful or underhanded in the situation, is the guidance for person B. And I will also use my inner balancing oracle to take a look at the guidance for the two people here. What's the guidance for person A? What's the guidance for person A? So the guidance for person A is to use their logical mind to not let their emotions of the past situations get the better out of them, not feel angered or victimized in the situation. Know that they are empowered and there is no right and wrong in any situation, and they should just accept it as it is. and be very logical about it. And what's the guidance for person B here? What's the guidance for person B? So person B needs to know that they are appreciated by person A for their gifts and talents, and person A also wants to feel appreciated back. I feel both people need to appreciate the good qualities in the two people here more. They may acknowledge it mentally and not speak it out loud, and they need to have more faith in themselves that they are also good people and they are doing the best they can in the situation. Let's take a look at what will bring balance in this situation. What will bring balance in this conflict? What will bring balance? Okay, so just some innocence, some love, knowing that the two people have each other's backs, nobody wants to hurt the other, and they're just trying to make the best out of the situation, trying to live it as honestly as possible. If the other person feels wronged, that's not their intention. Nobody's a bad person here. Okay, so that was your reading, pile number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a like, and I'll see you guys later.